Inovação, segurança,
programação,
tecnologia,
desenvolvimento.
Começa aqui.
Let's begin.
DevSecOps. O seu podcast de segurança em tecnologia.
Hello, my friends. It's a huge pleasure to have two following episodes in English. Yeah, because last week we had another Pavel as a guest here on the DevSecOps podcast. We were talking about infrastructure as a code and how to make security on it, which is pretty good topic actually. And today we have another guest that I will introduce in a second. But first, I'm Cássio Pereira.
I'm Mark Santos.
And it's also a very good episode because we don't have Gabriel and Rodrigo, that two
Oh my God! Thanks God.
dickheads, but it's okay. You're happy today, right, Marcos? Because we don't have them. Yeah?
Oh, I'm very happy. Work with you is better than work with the other guys. I hate
Apple Polisher. I will not raise your salary, okay?
Yeah, please increase my salary. I'm here every episode. I'm here.
Today, before we talk about the first theme, it's very important to make a feature about DevSecOps podcast because we have the support from Checkmarx and Nova 8 that they are specialized in application security and safe in code, let's say. All the links and everything from Nova 8 and Checkmarx you can find on the description of the video on YouTube and also on our website, devsecopspodcast.com.br. We need to talk about Gold Security, which is a new partner. They are also a specialist in application security. Basically, they say if you need to develop safe code or safe software, talk to them. They will teach you, they will help you how to do this, how to achieve this goal. And also, we need to talk about our Brazilian partner that needs to be in Portuguese. Sorry, Pavel. But Contabilidade Olímpia, eles são especializados em profissionais da área de TI. Se precisar abrir sua empresa, né, ou migrar de contabilidade, fala com a Contabilidade Olímpica, eles estão prontos para te atender. O link também está na descrição do vídeo e no nosso website, tá? But coming back to English, today we're going to be talking about offensive security. I should
Segurança, tecnologia, DevSecOps.
We should celebrate, we should open a champagne for this moment because 4th season already of DevSecOps podcast, we never talked about offensive security. It's a pleasure to have...
It's true.
It's true, right, Marcos?
Yeah.
So it's a pleasure to have our guest today, Pavel, that will be talking about offensive security. Hopefully, he will bring us the fear of offensive guys, the fear of hackers, that they can really screw up with our systems, and nobody cares. Nobody thinks about application security, defensive techniques, or whatever, until something happens, until Pavel starts doing his job, for example. You know? So, Pavel, again, thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. It's a pleasure to have you here. I mean, nice to see you again after some days, some moments after B-sides and some meetups locally. Please introduce yourself, talk about you, why you are here, who are you? Welcome.
Yeah, hello. Thank you very much for having me here today. So, as you already said, I'm Pavel. I'm a senior IT security consultant at Securing in Poland. And as you said, I'm this terrible, scareful hacker. So my main job is finding vulnerabilities. And the worst part of the job is reporting it.
Very good.
Today I will be talking a lot about it. I hope I will say something smart or something new for you.
No, interesting, because you, as you mentioned, there is a, let's say, boring part of the job, which is to report the vulnerabilities. Yeah? It's part of the job. We always have to do something that we don't like. Yeah,
of course.
Okay, Pavel. So, Marcos, you want to start with some questions? You are so much curious about how people destroy our systems. You want to start?
I have one question, the first question.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Cássio. But what do you think about the WASP Top 10? It's really good. PCI is better. What do you think about the people when follow the WASP Top 10 to increase the security inside the enterprises?
Okay, so very important thing to say at the beginning is that the OWASP Top 10 is not a standard. It's an awareness document. And I think as a awareness document, it's really great. Like, I would say that's the first thing I would recommend to any developer, to any person interested in web security, to take a look at it, because we have this sum up, this, I would say, a really short sum up of the most common vulnerabilities, but also the most riskiest vulnerabilities. Because we can find probably in every application that we don't have some header or something like that, but that isn't making any risk for a company, for us. But the top 10 is talking about the most common and most riskiest things. So let's say the current top 1 is broken access control, and that's the thing which I think I can say that I'm finding in like every application. So that really should be here. And as I said, it's really nice for especially people who are not already security experts, because they can get a foothold, what they should think about, what they should secure, where they should look even to begin with security. So I think that's about top 10. Yeah.
Good.
If we are looking for any standard to like have this checklist where we can go check by check to verify if our application is in compliance with some standard, I would recommend then application security verification standards. So another project from OWASP.
Very good, which is OWASP ASVS, to make it easier. Exactly. And I think Marcos did this question because we worked together some time. So we had a lot of enterprise customers, really enterprise customers, enterprise companies that we worked also in the past, that they only worry about OWASP top 10.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I said at the beginning that that's just an awareness document, not a standard.
Exactly.
Because that's a common mistake, which I also met.
Yeah, and basically we have thousands of vulnerabilities, but they used to say I'm compliance between codes. I'm compliance with OWASP top 10, so I'm safe. No. Actually, you are just not too much secure. That's the problem.
Or PCI, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, PCI is kind of a standard. Actually, it is standard.
But
has limitations also.
Yes, it's a little block of vulnerabilities.
Exactly.
It usually depends what we are looking at, because application verification standard is good for web applications, but probably won't be this good for desktop clients. Probably there is a better standard, I would say.
Exactly. Okay, so we gave, let's say, kind of an introduction about OWASP and the concept awareness document. And actually, OWASP has thousands of interesting projects, including meetups that you should join wherever you are listening this podcast. For sure, there is a OWASP chapter near you. If there is not, open yourself. And next point I would like to discuss with Pavel, going further on the offensive part. It's like, I'm as a company, we are worried about the OWASP top 10 or any other kind of standard or awareness document and so on. And but this is enough, or we should have some kind of more worried, like, for example, have a pen tester in our company, have a company to do pen tests for us, because we don't use, I can imagine that you use SQL injections, as you mentioned, you have broken access control everywhere, so you use these common attacks. But you may face some challenges, some systems that are more protected, and you may need to combine some attacks or use new techniques. How is your daily job? That's the question.
Oh, that's really a complicated question. Because let's start from the beginning. You said you asked about having a penetration tester, having a security department, something like that. So I think it's really important to have this security department, or if we are a smaller company, to have like maybe one security champion, or maybe get some help from other company. Because even if we are going with the standards, if we are having these checklists, there is a possibility of having a vulnerability still. Like, of course, we are shifting left, and that's good. So we have these threat modeling sessions, we have secure development lifecycle processes, we have scans automated, QA tests, any other type of tests. That's good, of course, it's important. But right now, one of the most common type of bugs, which most of the scanners does not... Do you hear me? Because I think I lost connection.
Yes.
Oh,
You're here. You're here.
So I had some luck. So continuing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most common problems right now, which most of the scanners doesn't find, is, I would say, on the connection between different systems, between different micro applications. Like, I would say just a complexity of the systems right now. Because going back like 10, maybe even 20 years ago when I was a kid, most of the applications were just a plain HTTP with maybe some JavaScript, what was already wow. Right now, if we are running an application, we are probably having a multi-cloud setup with some Kubernetes, containers, hypervisors, load balancers, etc., etc., like a lot of buzzwords, a lot of different technologies. And getting everything of this to work and to work properly and secure is, I would say, even impossible.
I would say that don't even work properly, yeah? as I know some developers.
Yeah, because of course, let's say we tested on the QA with our scanners, our part of the application. The application is great, like unkillable, nobody can hack it, great. We're attaching it to the other parts of the application because let's say that's probably
microservices,
microservices architectures. So we are having this new component here, and there is probably a lot of routing, different servers like Apache engines, and we had a lot of problems already with how these servers approach, let's say, HTTP requests. Like we had the problems with parsing of the URLs, with what could lead to the first issue, so the path traversals and the access control. Because let's say we can connect to some administrator service, and the second thing, then more new one from James Kettle. So, for example, request smuggling. So we can smuggle a request to other person. So most of these errors, these security vulnerabilities are right now on these connections, yeah, and most of the scanners cannot catch them. That's the problem. Very of course, good. If we find some vulnerability, we can create a scanner, but I'm not sure if that would be one which would universally work everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And you bring it like a very interesting point. Like you have now the request smuggling, which is, I mean, for me, it's totally new. It's the first time I'm listening about it. And by the name, I can imagine how it works. And like 2 weeks ago, I was working on a system and we were implementing kind of a control. It's called verification of requests. Maybe, I have no idea, but maybe it's something to kind of try to protect from this kind of problems. I'm not sure, but maybe it is. I need to go further for it. But just this, let's say, 2 minutes talk that you said, you already bring something which is totally out of OWASP, out of PCI, out of anything that I already read. And it's happening. You are using this on your daily job to attack systems. And, you know, the thing is, people are not worried about this risk. They will start worrying when something happens to their company, to their business, and so on. And do you believe, Pavel, that your work contribute to this, like to make also not find problems, find proof that there is a problem, but also you contribute to education of these guys. I have a problem that my partner company found for me, or Pavel is doing a bug bounty and he found and he earned some money. But do you think that this really teaches people? They will start not doing this vulnerability again and so on, or how do you see this?
I think just finding vulnerability and reporting it, even if we will create a really great report with a good explanation, isn't enough. I mean that's a big thing. Like we cannot patch everything with just 1 or 2 actions. Like, because I think that the first thing which we should do as a security expert, especially, we shouldn't blame people for their faults, because I usually hear something like, "Oh, he was so goofy, he clicked this phishing link." Like, everyone would probably click in good environment. So I think first thing, we shouldn't blame the users, the non-security guys, even if they are technical. Second, a lot of companies are trying to do this right now, so automate as much as possible. So this automate scanning, security scanning. I saw even an ideas of implementing threat modeling as some automated thing. So we are doing new functionality. We are getting one guy from security, and we are doing threat modeling, which before even writing a code, we can catch some problems. That's great. We also should, I think, educate people. Like, I'm not saying that all of us should be a security expert. Like, if you are a web developer, then okay, that's great. You should be a good developer, but you should have some knowledge about security. I'm not saying that you should know every vulnerability, you should know every technique, but you should have this, maybe I would say, mindset. That's good that there are workshops which allow developers to like get this hacker mindset. So they are showing them how the attacks are done, what are the techniques. They are not teaching them these techniques, the tech details, but they are showing the possibilities. And when we are knowing the possibilities, that let's say somebody can even modify the HTTP request, what for some people could be like, but how? There is HTTPS. Does not work like that. We can modify it.
Exactly.
So just the knowledge about it, the thing that we know about it, can make a difference. Because maybe, let's say, in a week or month, we are implementing some new functionality, and we will think like, okay, but they can modify even every header. So maybe like I should do something with this input.
I should validate something.
Yeah, and then let's for example search Google or ask some security expert in your company or your friend.
No, very good, very good. Also, just before Marcos make a comment, I would say that as you mentioned, the word is kind of mindset. I would say culture, that they should be aware, or at least word, about the quality itself. Especially developers, like they're responsible for their code, the quality of the code in general, even the performance, even if it does the functionality, even if it's tested. I would say even if it's secure. Again, don't be all the possible vulnerabilities, everything. They don't need to know it, but they need to have some fundamentals about, as you mentioned, like, let me validate some parameters, let me validate some headers, let me don't put up on my code the user and password, for example, or use default credentials and so on. Like, these small things that everybody should have as fundamentals, so they will do what I like to say, defensive programming, or kind of.
Yep.
But Marcos has a very nice tip for developers to educate about how vulnerabilities happen and how to fix them. What's the tip, Marcos?
How to fix vulnerability?
Yeah,
Don't create the vulnerability.
Very good, very good.
That reminds me of one of my presentation when I asked what to do about securing from the vulnerability. I was talking about someone from the publicity side just don't have a vulnerability.
Very good.
Simple as that.
How I fix cancer? Don't have cancer. Yeah. Easy, very easy.
Easy peasy.
No, but Marcos, my question is, some kind of tools that
Yeah.
may help developers to understand this thing. Yeah?
Yes, I kid in the beginning, but we have, for example, a code bashing, a contra, and the other solutions for the developer request get the acknowledgement or study more about vulnerabilities, receive a training about how to solve, how to fix, how the correct method to use when I try to code anything for the enterprise. It's a good solutions. If you use a SaaS, you have a knowledge center in SaaS for learn, and you have acknowledgement to solve the, for example, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and the other vulnerabilities. And
Good.
the Google and the other places.
Google Stack Overflow, they
Yeah.
are also helpful for these things. Yeah? They
Or
should make it-
ChatGPT right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
ChatGPT. I read an article about the GitHub Copilot that were creating vulnerable code. So watch out, guys! It's still in beta, yeah, it's still need maturity. So watch out with this. Don't trust fully in your Copilot.
We need to remember that they are just tools.
Yeah, exactly. They are helpers, but all the fundamentals we must have. Okay, Pavel. So
Let me make a question for
go
Pavel.
on.
Pavel, you think if in the future of the enterprise or the developers, you see if in the threat modeling stay inside the culture or in the first step or the enterprise make a training about threat modeling, you think in the future the developers who was created less vulnerabilities? What do you think about threat modeling, the training about threat modeling?
Interesting.
Threat modeling. I think it's really important. So I at the beginning of my career, the threat modeling was for me boring, to be honest. Like just
It still is. It still is.
hacking on the paper. Like I did it on university. Why I have to do it more? But looking at it right now, after some time, I'm seeing a value here, because during the threat model there are different approaches: the longer ones, the classic ones, and the newer, like instant threat modeling. So the more fast approach, like let's do just threat model 30 minutes right now, let's go. Or brainstorming, chaos storming, I think it's also a name here. And I'm seeing a value because first thing, we are sharing our knowledge. Like usually during the development, we have this team of few different people with different backgrounds. Like probably, we right now all of us are the developers of these applications, but maybe one of them was DevOps. Maybe other guy was having some other knowledge from other sides. So they can have these crazy ideas, or just ideas which any will. Let me revert.
Don't worry.
Or ideas which any others wouldn't think about, and they would just share this knowledge. So first, they can think about a lot of problems before they even happen. So they can secure their code before, have ideas how to do this properly. They can also share this knowledge between them. So the next threat modeling, maybe in other team, they would have this knowledge which other guys had. So that's really nice for sharing, especially and that threat models are usually with some security expert, like the guy from the company, the security champion, or maybe even the external person. And that's also great because we are getting a lot more knowledge. Like we just have this guy which is talking about weird different words like SSRF, CSRF. What's that? Let's Google it, and we are getting something new. If threat model would make application more secure, that's for sure. If there wouldn't be vulnerabilities, I don't think so. Like we still having a lot of problems, let's say, in legacy applications, libraries, because we have to somewhere set this limit that we have a trust. That, let's say, we are downloading some library to communicate with our SQL server, and we are doing some parameterized statements, which are usually a library. So we probably have to trust it. But what if there is a vulnerability? What if there is a 0 day which would just create a big storm like Log4j 1 year ago?
Exactly. Very good point. I even make a comment on these two topics. Like before, Pavel mentioned the complexity of the applications today. Yeah, this complexity brings insecure for us. That's the point. And there is a principle of security which is called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Like, guys, you really need 3-4 different web servers. You really need all this, let's say, crap in order to just run your application. I started also 20 years ago on the old and good IIS and the ASP.NET page. That's everything. All the C# code on the page connected to the SQL Server and IIS. I could do everything there, even from PHP or Java, and you could do your security as well. Of course, there was more problems and so on, but one server, one language, one database. Today, any kind of ecosystem is already 2, 3, 4 languages different, because one microservice is Java, another one is Go, and another team is very super hype and they want to use, I don't know, C or whatever. Yeah, exactly. So that's another problem. Nobody follows this security principle. Yeah. And about this topic that you mentioned now about threat modeling, like I used to say that threat model is the art of finding problems before your software exists. Yeah, that's the main thing. The problem on threat modeling, I know 13 different frameworks of threat modeling. I don't use all of them, but I know all of them, and they are all manual work. They all need to stop sometime, do something. It's not a tool, automated, and so on. That's the boring part of threat modeling, and I believe that's why nobody does. Because it remembers from UML, like all the diagrams from applications. So it's boring to do. You know? But as you mentioned, you have the chaos threat model and agile threat security cards and other frameworks that are more easy to do, some automation tools. And the thing is, as you mentioned also, Pavel, threat model will reduce vulnerabilities. Yeah, because you were thinking before this, so you create your ecosystem properly somehow. But of course, there will always be some Marcos in the end of they will push root user and screw everything.
Segurança, tecnologia, DevSecOps.
Acho. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yes,
go on.
Yeah. I wanted to say, like, for example, or I would say even our friend, Jakub Kałużny, is doing a lot in threat modeling field. Like, I'm not sure how much I could say, but he had this idea. I don't know if he was the first one to start this, but at least I heard about it from him. So the idea about creating the template or just this automated process of threat model, like as you said, because the vulnerabilities are like reused, exactly. So we can have these templates for given problems. Like we are just specifying some specifics for given new component, but like the overall problem is the same. because we are probably having this new component running on maybe Kubernetes, maybe some container in cloud. So we can have like the whole threat model for developing the component here. And we are just updating this template with some new things of how our component works. And that's also the how we can speed up this process.
And just to threat model is interesting, yeah. So just to catch up with the thing, there is an episode that we recorded with Jefferson Souza, our friend Marcos. He's from incident response team, the fear and so on, and we were discussing about threat model, how incident response team could use threat models to respond an incident, and also how to get incidents history to create new threat models. So guys, okay, you don't want to follow any framework, don't want to create anything from scratch, that's okay. Go to your incident response team, ask them, give me the incidents from last year. Okay, it's already there, something that you need to not do anymore. Okay, we had incident here on the system, it was a SQL injection. Okay, guys, we'll go fix this fucking SQL injection. We had an incident here, was a root user, whatever, admin password, default password. Okay, guys, so let's go to the infrastructure. So all the history that you probably have already can be already your kind of threat model, because you already have problems. There are already attacks that you had. So you can easily do it. No?
The problem is when you don't have logs or the instant response team.
This is topic
also happening.
Yeah, this is topic for another episode. Yeah, application monitoring and so on, which is a very interesting topic as well.
If I remember correctly, even to the OWASP top 10, there was added the
misconfiguration,
lack of monitoring even.
Yeah, failure of logins and monitoring. It's number 9 now, I think, in our top 10. Exactly. Okay. Moving a bit forward, Pavel, I think all of us and everybody who is listening or will be listening to this episode, maybe 50 years from now, they want to know, how do you attack? How do you crack? How do you get into the systems? Especially tools. What kind of tools you use? What kind of techniques you use? You still use social engineering? You still sending phishings? How it works?
It depends on the project. About the last part of the question about social engineering, because that's a funny part, I would say. If we are allowed to do this, because there are projects like that, of course we are doing it. And there is 100% chance that someone will click and give us the password.
Awesome.
So, like I said, we shouldn't blame users. Everyone will click someday something. Even probably I clicked in my life, or I will click something.
I did already, yeah.
So about the tools, I will here be this old, sad, negative guy. I will say that although tools are really helpful, and of course we should do this to automate some processes, but getting the best vulnerabilities, at least for me best, because for the client probably the worst, we have to just deeply understand how the application works, how the vulnerability works, to find them, because the tools won't help us. As I said, the tools can help with some automated processes. For example, let's say about Nmap, like I wouldn't be pinging 65,000 ports by myself. Like, come on. But if I will find something and it won't have any common any known vulnerability, it is, let's say, maybe something custom, I don't have tools for custom things. I have to do this manually. So of course there is let's say, for example, Burp, like a base of web application pen tester. Like we have to have some proxy to intercept the traffic, to modify it. But I wouldn't say that any Burp add-on or any other tool would help us find the vulnerability. Yeah, of course, like misconfigured headers, maybe some obvious SQLi or cross-site scripting. Why not? There are scanners and they can find them. But let's say about business misconfiguration, the business vulnerabilities. So we have this 5-step process. In every step of this process, we giving some information that are, let's say, calculated. Maybe there is some authorization if we can access some resources. This 5-step process is probably custom for the one single application in the world, and there is no tool which will allow to properly go through every scenario which can happen. Like, what if we will input some different thing on the stage 4? What if we will start from the stage 5, not the first 5, not the first one? So I'm usually automating the most boring stuff. So the stuff which can really be found by the tools. But I'm trying to find these things which probably won't be found by the tools. Maybe the tool can help me by saying, hey, there is some different response if I will input some special character in this header. So then I can get into it and try to find some correlation why this happens, if that's some false positive or maybe it is going somewhere. Especially in the errors, in the mistakes I said at the beginning of our chat, the problems on the connection between different systems. Because let's say I didn't find a scanner which found the vulnerability like that. Maybe I don't know one. But let's say that we've got different APIs. And different APIs are routed to different servers on the backend. So what would happen if I would ask for this one server, let's say with anonymous access, and then I would just do the simple path traversal, maybe include some, I don't even know how it's called in English, semicolon or this
Semicolon.
This different things.
A dot and a comma, semicolon.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Semicolon.
So what would happen if I would input the semicolon, the path traversal, and go to the other server, to the other API? And as it happens, between different servers, let's say Apache and Nginx, that path would be differently parsed. And the first server, let's say this front-end server, would say that, okay, he wants to communicate with this anonymous server, which is available for everyone. Like, so give him the response. Let's route it. But then the routing happens, and something between looks at this and, okay, so I parsed it. There is this path traversal, so it's going up and going to the other server. So let's ask the other server. But we are already like in the infrastructure with our request, and the backend servers are like probably okay. So the first server authorized him, so I'm allowing it. So send him the response from our administrator component. So these are the problems which probably most of the tools won't find. Maybe with AI, because maybe we can find some small differences in responses, which wouldn't probably be like heuristically detected. But that's, I think, future, not right now.
Yes. Let's live for our kids.
Like AI is really nice topic, but as I saw this tweet, we shouldn't worry about, let's say, malware created by AI right now. If we can just go to GitHub and find like tons of malware.
Exactly.
Even ScriptKiddie can use it.
Exactly. Interesting point. Because I think I have been once. We have a conference in São Paulo, Brazil, which is called A2HC, Hackers to Hackers. It's very high level, and there was one topic once using AI as a vulnerability scanner or something like this. It was a very interesting topic, like 5 years ago, something like this. But was the only one thing I saw. I didn't search anymore, but only one thing in conference and so on about AI, which is very high topic, I think. to create better scanners or better tools. Because I think it's also one part of the problem of all security, Pavel. And I think you would agree. It's like people. Yeah, we don't have enough people.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people are the problem.
One thing came to my mind about AI, like for example in AWS. I don't know if there is like something like this in other cloud providers because I'm not so specialized in others than in AWS. There is, for example, let's say guard duty, which already is having this like whole guard duty is just a big AI, and yeah, he have these heuristics. So he can verify that maybe someone used the keys outside your infrastructure, okay? But it also has this option, like functionality that would detect some different type of actions done by the account that differ from the normal actions. So let's say it takes, if I remember correctly, 2 weeks to learn how we use our account. And then if our account would be used in another way, so let's say we use this account only to run some server, but week later someone or something is trying to use this account to list all the users, to list all the functions, maybe access the database.
Something's wrong.
This service will inform us that, hey, something is happening. This account makes weird actions. Let's ping. It's pinging you that you should verify it. Because it cannot say that it is an attacker, but it's saying that let's check it.
Actually, we mentioned a bit about logs and application monitoring, and when I use it to talk about application security and monitoring your application, watching your logs, etc. If you don't have logs, go to hell. You need to have logs at least. So, the thing is,
or turn off the logs to economize space.
Yes, make economy of disk space.
Yeah.
Marcos, this is a funny story. Marcos worked in a company that his boss told to turn off the log servers at night to save money. It's true. This is true.
It's true.
Man. Okay, but coming back to the topic, it's like when
he was right. He was saving money.
Yes.
At the time.
Exactly. But when I say to people about application monitoring, you need to know. It's exactly as you described in AI. You need to know the behavior of your application. How many requests you have at night? How many requests you have during a year, during a month? Because when something goes wrong, you're gonna know it quick. Like it's our dashboard there. You need to know the normal behavior. If you don't know the normal behavior, you don't even know when you have an attack. You probably have already when you are not aware.
For example, in Java, in case of deserialization, there was this exception called wrong deserialization or wrong casting, something like that. I'm not Java expert, so sorry.
Bad serialization, something like this.
But it shouldn't mostly happen in like most of the applications. Like if we having the code working properly, this exception shouldn't happen. So if we are seeing this exception in the logs, then it's probably bad because someone is trying to deserialize some objects, and if we are having this error, there is a chance that someone already have an RC in our system. So that, like you said, you have to know your system. If you know that there isn't any chance of having this exception during the normal flow of the application, so seeing this exception in the log should be like some alarm in our mind, in our brain. Like, wait, what's happening? We have to verify it.
Exactly.
Good.
Guys,
let me
flies. I don't know if we can allow you another question, Marcos.
The last question, please.
Okay,
it's a good question, I promise. In Brazil, we have a common attack is a phishing. Every day we have a phishing.
I think it's everywhere. Everywhere is phishing.
But my question is, you use phishing in your daily work and it's working very well? What do you think?
I didn't use a lot of them. Rather, colleagues from my company use them, as I'm not an red team specialist. But if we are having some red teaming project or just a social engineering project, then we are of course doing them. And as I was saying, we have this 100% effectivity. Like in every attack, someone clicks.
Yeah, that's good. Good.
Actually, in Brazil, we have, I mean, everywhere, but in Brazil, in the past, when phishing started, we had one very nice what's like, your wife is cheating on you. Click here to download the pictures. This I'm a detective and so on, or your husband, whatever. This was the main one. Second was, click here because you are being sued. You need to go to your lawyer, something like this. Here's the document. Click here. This was the second one. And the third one was like, click here if you want to enlarge your salary. Who don't want bigger salaries? Yeah. So everybody clicks. Okay, guys. Time flies. Pavel, thank you. Really thank you. It was a very nice conversation. A lot of topics that we already have ideas for next episodes and so on and so on. You're already invited. Again, thank you very much. Feel free to share links, social media, project, whatever. Say bye to people, and that's all.
Okay, so thank you for having me again. Thank you for listening, everyone. I will send the links to the cassette. Not take your time, and I hope you learned anything. Like most of the topics which we started were like just a tip of the iceberg, but I hope that you can get something from this conversation. So thank you.
Very good. Marcos, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice weekend, people.
Share, enjoy, share the video, comment, whatever.
The same every day.
At the end, I will just say this horrific thing. We can use logs for attacks also.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So all of the listeners have this task. You can try to search how can you use the logs to attack the application.
Exactly. And I will take this last minute to say one case very quick. I worked in a company that we had some frauds. Some credit card was being cloned from the customers, and nobody knows where. I was searching, doing all the hell of the things. Once some guys from infrastructure come to me and say, Cassio, we need to do some cleaning of your logs somewhere because we have too less space on the disk. Okay, let's do some log rotation or something. It's okay, part of the process. In the middle of this activity, I discovered that they had another server on the cluster. This one server was logging full payload request of the transaction on the e-commerce. So on the logs, there were the credit card number and everything. So imagine who was cloning the credit cards. Like CVV, someone with access. Yes, number. Someone with access to the logs. Someone from the company. That's the story, guys. See you next episode. Pavel, again, thank you. Marcos, see you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Termina aqui DevSecOps. O seu podcast de segurança em tecnologia.
I'm not saying anything, to be honest. Yeah? It's what I'm saying. Yeah, on Signal. I hope it would work because I have something like that. I send you also the screen. That would be bad.